Really interesting and different reading here. You've got some negative cards coming in and a lot of major arcana cards. And then again, you have some really positive cards that are paired up with it that are grounding this feeling and bringing some balance and harmony into it. Now it appears you're doing some house cleaning and you're flushing out some bad things and bringing in some good things. Now I'm doing a chakra point reading that the center cards are all the 7 chakra points from your spine up to your crown. And the cards on the left are your past and the cards on the right are your future. And I'll explain them as I go along. Now the cards on the left for your past, you received the Tower, Death, and the Hanged Man. It's nice to get those and say, yeah, it's past. The Tower is saying something happened. There was a collapse. It's not fatal, but it's a sudden change in circumstances. This is a cosmic card where maybe you didn't make some decisions, so the cosmos made it for you. And there is changes happening. Maybe you were in some kind of denial. Or you were lying to yourself that everything was all right. You're doing some soul searching, and that's probably the most painful thing a person can do in their life, but it has to be done often and with candor involved in it. You can't wear these rose-colored glasses and say, yeah, everything's okay, let's move on. This is when we manifest false truths. Now the Torah warns you to accept what is needed over what is wanted. It's a spiritual wake-up call that's striking you like lightning. It's time for change. It's time to move the negative out and bring the positive in. And the Death card is a mandated transformation from whatever happened for you to go into the Tower mode. It's telling you to get rid of useless beliefs and go into a rebirth. It's a metamorphosis. You're the phoenix rising up from the egg-shaped ball of myrrh to live again. There's a lot of the same messages with the Tower and the Death card, and it is getting rid of beliefs or things that are no longer serving you anymore. Change is not your enemy. Things happen for a reason, and you're supposed to allow it to take its natural course. Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. It really is saying that you're beginning a new chapter in your life. And the Hanged Man, he's about acquiring wisdom. It's about going on a spiritual journey for enlightenment. The lesson here is to stop trying to control the physical world around you. Stop trying to put a round peg in a square hole. Allow things to take its natural course. And with this enlightenment, you'll start seeing things in a different light. And now it's time to relinquish the old ideas because the new are avidly seeking their place. The Hangman card does require some sacrifices, but it's better to sacrifice some things now than to keep a status quo on something that's very negative for your life. The overall message for all 3 of these cards is don't oppose change or there'll be loss. Now down at the base of your spine is what I call sourcing and urgings. These are even experiences from past lives to your childhood up to today. And you receive the 7 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Now I call the 7 of Pentacles almost a harvest card. You've sowed some seeds and things are growing and it's almost ripe. But this is a tenuous time where something can happen. Flood, freezing, hail can ruin your crop. And you won't see the abundance from your fruits of labor. But the Wheel of Fortune, that's the clarification card, is saying the fates are on your side. The wheel is on the upswing. And everything will work out well. It's also reminding you about the cyclic, abstract, obscure nature of destiny and fate. And all the strange twists and turns that it takes. Now, I don't think you'd notice, but out of the 5 cards I've read so far, 4 of them are some major commanding arcanic energy. With the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune there, you're seeking new stability and new things. You're growing as a person and changing. Now the cards up above for your sacrum and pelvic, for what I consider spiritual awakening and growth of all kinds, as well as sexual prowess, you receive the Page of Cups and the Star. Now the Page of Cups is a young person with some immature ideas, or maybe I should say more inexperienced ideas. It's more on a cosmic plane of fantasy. He lives in a dream world. Love is his aim. Fantasies are his game. And the spiritual world is his plane. And he connects earthly emotions to spiritual awareness and intuition. But you need your rose-colored glasses to be taken off when he's around, because he can go into all kinds of depression from unrequited love or walking on air for falling in love. And you have to start balancing these emotions. Now, pages bring messages to some kind of news, and maybe you'll be hearing some things that'll be making some changes come around. Now, the Star card is about hope and healing. It's about orienting your life path. The stars are fixed in the heavens above us, but us mere mortals are in constant change. And I think all of the cards so far in this reading are telling you that, with the Tower, the Death, the Hangman, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Wheel are all saying there's changes coming. Now up above for your solar plexus, what I call your feeling and sensing, you receive the Lover's card and the Four of Wands. Now the Lover's card is about manifesting deeper emotional bonds and bringing in more harmonious feelings to relationships. But it's also about making decisions, and good decisions. Decisions between vice and virtue. It's the clash of the Titans with the 7 deadly sins. We all have basic human impulses that have to be overrode sometimes, so that we don't find some raw nature of man coming out. It wants you to find balance between the spiritual versus the physical. Now the Four of Wands is a celebration card. This is a card to take time out to enjoy your accomplishments. But it's a rites of passage card too, about reunions, engagements, weddings, birthdays, graduations. Maybe something like that is going on in your life, that you're going to rally together with friends and neighbors to celebrate. This card foretells positive ascensions in your life and successful dealings in business, marriage, friendships, but it has a heavy emphasis on family. Now the center cards are the heart, or the heart of the matter or the situation. And receive the Devil and the Strength card. Well, if you're going to get the Devil, it's a nice thing to get the Strength card. And as I'd mentioned up in the Lovers, it is a decision between vice and virtue. And there's some backdrag going on from your past, from the Tower and the Death card. It's warning you not to get caught up in the same routines that were probably very negative in your life. The Devil is saying you've been in some type of denial, or you have that type A personality that once you start doing something you can't stop, and then you take things to the extreme. And this is where the denial and lying to yourself comes in. And it's warning you to avoid that. Don't have avarice, extreme greed and selfishness. Extend yourself out to people, because last thing you want to do is be in bondage with the devil and find your shadow self. There's a lot of pitfalls in life that have to be avoided, but the Strength card is there to prop you up, to support you. The spirit of man requires constant taming. I think the lesson to this reading up to this point is Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. And that was a quote by Lazu, the master of Tao. Now down on the right, for your throat, for your teaching and communicating, receive the Eight of Swords and the Justice card. Now you're trammeled. You're in some kind of shackles. And you're feeling like you can't escape. Kind of appears that you've gotten into some negative routines and you don't want to get out of it. You don't want to change. The Eight of Swords is saying you can always escape from this bondage, but you don't want to. Oh no, you don't want to change. And you've been taught differently, but you're still resisting. And the Justice card, when it appears, is usually saying that something's been out of balance that has to be put back into balance. And this can also be about legal matters, and maybe they're restraining you as well. But it can be about the sort of accountability and the consequences that happen from the decisions that you've made. And if you've made some poor ones, there's going to be punishment and no rewards. Now the cards up above for your third eye, this is an enlightenment. You receive the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Now you're back into the material world. And this Queen and King are pragmatists. They're about practical affairs. They want you to get a grip on the reality of life. You know, they can be about wealth and money, but it's also about health and well-being. And the Queen, she brings understanding. And the King assists you in obtaining your long-term goals. But it's reminding you, for whatever goals you do set, they have to be realistic goals. Or else you're not going to have a foundation for success. The cards up above for the Crown, for knowing and understanding, you receive the Five of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Now the Five of Cups is about difficulties and challenges. It's even the challenge of loss. Maybe the death of somebody, or there's been some loss because of the Tower and the Death card. You lost some ideas, some beliefs, and you're grieving over it now. And maybe you should not be. You're saying, oh yeah, the cup is half empty instead of half full. But the two cups that are standing upright are there that are saying hope and change. Just as the Star card was saying hope and healing. Now it's time to get out of your depression and despair. Take off those rose-colored glasses with the Page of Cups and start looking at reality. Now the Nine of Cups is the Wish card. It's a card about contentment and satisfaction. And I always want to say when I see this card, curiosity killed the cat. And everybody forgets the second line is satisfaction brought him back. Now this Wish card says that you can redeem one wish at any time. But just be careful of what you wish for. Now the future cards are the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups. The Queen of Cups is completely about intuition. You know, she makes her decisions with emotions, but you also have to balance it with reason and logic. She brings up these questions that, do you think to feel, or do you feel to think? And what do you think you should be feeling? And do you have some preconceived ideas about what should happen in your life? And are you listening to your gut feelings? Now the Two of Cups as the clarification card is directly related to the Lover's card over in your knowing and sensing. Something's going on in your love life and in your emotions. You seem to be wearing your heart on your sleeve, and this card heralds unions, emotional bonds, sexual attractions, balance, respect, harmony. Or this is what it should be heralding. And this is what you're looking for in life now. And the Queen of Cups can be a healing card, and so can the Two of Cups. Even with the regard of making a truce when you're having love affair problems or friendship or family problems. And I think that's what you're seeking now. Because if you learned your lesson with the Tower and the transformation with the Death card, yes, you'll have more deeper emotional bonds with people. Now I'm doing a Doreen Virtue Messages of the Angel card, and you received Astara. You deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. I get this Astara card many times when I have the Star card there. And you did receive the Star card for hope and healing. And also the Queen of Cups signifies this card with her intuition and dreams and being able to reach them. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.